Okay, being finally 7 p.m., right? April 7th, 2026. Note this meeting is being televised, streamed, or recorded by Bourne TV. If anyone in the audience is recording or videotaping, they need to acknowledge such at this time. We have Bourne Enterprise, thank you. Please refrain from using flash photography. If anyone from the public wishes to access the meeting, they can do so by calling the following conference line: 1-929-205-6099, Zoom meeting ID 897-1229-3538, password Bourne, all caps. The Zoom chat will not be monitored. Participants who wish to speak must raise the hand icon until the chair asks them to unmute. All items within the meeting agenda, are subject to deliberation votes. Call the meeting to order in open session. First, we'll have a moment of silence to recognize our guests and our public safety personnel. Salute to the flag. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So public comments on non-agenda items. I'm not sure if anybody's here for public comment on non-agenda items. Anyone online? Seeing none, I will not do the spiel for that. Next, we have an update from Town Council on Katomet Fish Special Legislation Liquor License. Thank you.
Good evening. So the last time we were here, we were just discussing the draft legislation that had come back from our legislative delegation. Since that time, we had a concern, I think, specifically about some of the transferability language that was in that draft legislation, and we really didn't know the origin of it. So since that time, I've had an opportunity to talk with Representative Vieira and some folks who I'd just first off like to say thank you. They've been really helpful and really responsive to the town, and I think we should say that in public. Yeah. But it was kind of as we suspected. There was no real intent to undermine what we were trying to do. They're just trying to standardize their language in the State House when they do these kind of special acts. So we explained the concern, and I think that at present it's probably not going to be a problem if we want to push back on that and change it. I think there's really sort of two things to consider in that. First, right now it says not transferable as to the location. I think we should specify, we could either drop off the location and just say not transferable, sort of full stop, or we could do something different, which is not transferable as to the location. Give me a second here. Or we could actually say to any other person, organization, corporation, or location. Basically saying as to the entity, individual, whatever you want to say, and the location. I think either one gets us where we want to go. The second version, where you're saying person, organization, corporation, or location, is maybe a little more belt and suspenders, because it's pretty explicit. So, I think we can, go back to the delegation and say that's really what we want. The other question is that there was some other language then about granting a license to a new applicant in the same location. I did have a conversation today with counsel for the original petitioner who reached out to me, and I think they would be in favor of keeping that on the logic that it wouldn't be a transfer, but it would give the town discretion if in the future this business were to wind down and we still wanted to have a liquor license in that location. I think that's really up to the select board whether you want to keep something like that in or not, whether you think it's consistent with what was proposed to town meeting. That's really my entire update. I think as to the transferability part, I'm really just looking for an instruction as to what language you prefer. And then, given that I had that communication from the petitioner, I just, wanted to present that to you so that you could consider it and give me my instruction on that as well.
Okay, wonderful. All right, I guess I'll start with my fellow select board members. I guess Anne Marie, you're up top. I think I'll maybe start with you, if that's okay. And do you have any questions or thoughts, comments on
Sure.
that?
Thank you. It's been a while since I've done Zoom and had to raise my hand.
Okay.
The non-transferable is an absolute for me. Without it should be a non-transferable license. I think that was the intent, and how we presented it to town meeting, and how people understood that vote. I also do not think. I think also that there was conversation and there was explanation that when this individual or entity or corporation no longer exists, that the license would no longer exist. So I don't think keeping that license at that location, or someone else coming in and being able to apply for a license at that location, I don't think that if I understood you correct, Brian, that was some of the language that the state wanted to have.
Mm-hmm.
So almost like, with Sundowns, right? When the company no longer exists, the license should no longer exist.
Okay. Anyone else? MJ?
I'll say a couple things. I think it would be helpful. I don't know if the representatives of Catawba Fish were notified of this meeting, for them to have an opportunity to speak, because it was their private petition. So I would like that sort of before a decision is made. I did have a conversation with Javiera, and it was interesting because one of the things he talked about is if the manager, so when you issue the license to the manager, if the manager dies, we often transfer a license, we change a manager, but it's not a transfer of the license. And so I thought, they do a lot of these. We don't do this, but it's not like we do them all the time and we see what can happen. So, and then you spoke, I don't know if you did have a conversation with the proponents of the petitioner, but the transfer of the license to a new manager under the same entity. I mean, I'm just being cautious, because if it's a special legislation license and to get a new one, it would have to be, to transfer it or do something, you'd have to go through a whole special legislation. There may be some situations where the wisdom of the legislature in terms of the limits of the transfer. I definitely agree with no transfer to a different location. I'm not sure about a transfer of manager with the same entity at the same location. So, but I would like to hear from the petitioner.
The intent of town meeting was that license to stay at that location and for it to be non-transferable, period. Notice no differential from it. So, I tend to lean with what Anne Marie is saying in this case. That's the intent. If they want to change it and go back to town meeting with a different special act, that's one thing. But the intent, I want to stay to what was approved at last year's town meeting.
Okay. Jean?
Yeah, I would agree with, seems like the first option that we're all discussing, the location, drop location, and not transferable. As far as the second question with granting the license, yeah, I think it would be wise if the applicant were here for that discussion as well. But as far as the intent in town meeting, yeah, I agree with Peter.
Okay.
However, I do think that we should wait and talk to Patrick Ross and his wife as the applicant, the people who apply for the special act and the owner of the business, so they can have their chance. I know we're buying time because town meeting's coming up, but I would like to see if there's a way they can get people for us before town meeting so we can talk to them.
Okay. Well, I mean, I agree with, Peter and Anne Marie and Jean on this one. I think that was the intent when the town meeting passed the vote, and I think we really need to stick to that. So I don't know, what do we do now? Do we get a meeting to ask Patrick to come in and see if they want to, that would be, let them decide if they want to, like Peter said, they can, if they're pretty firm on having it transferable, they may need to repetition or do whatever they need to, but.
So it sounds like we're all pretty agreed at this point. We don't want to transfer it as a sort of business, let's just say business at a high level, right, and location. We have some concern over if something happens to the manager or they want to change the manager. And we don't want a new application in the future for like another applicant, even if it's at this location. Okay. That gives me some direction as to how to sort of try to get some finalized language, whether I'm speaking with Mr. Vieira or the applicant's counsel. I didn't speak directly with petitioners. Like I said, their counsel called me today, right around noon, a little bit later. So that was the first I had sort of spoken with them. I can reach out through counsel to them and see if they're available for a future meeting date if you want to hear from them as well.
Yeah, I think that would be the most
Yep.
professional thing to do, would be to talk to their counsel.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
All right. Any further discussion on that? Anne Marie, anyone? No? Okay. All right, next we have Special Town Meeting Article 3, Presentation, Citizen Petition for Jay Patel for a liquor license. Is there? Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jignesh Kumar Patel. I'm coming from the Country Farm Store in Pocasset, and I've been here before too for interesting in the liquor license. I'm still looking for the liquor license if it's available or for new comes up, or I'm still interested into that,
Okay.
And me and my cousin own the property, and we've been over there for last like 19-20 years, and we have a plenty space and nice premises,
Okay.
if you think about that.
All right. I don't know who to pass this one to. It's a little bit different. This is a different process coming to us tonight with this applicant. So I don't know who wants to kind of speak on this. Should we ask town council to speak on it, or what is our pleasure here?
Let Brian speak first,
Yeah.
tell us what our options are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit different here, yeah.
Sure. So right now it's on the special town meeting warrant as apply for a liquor license. I generally view citizens petitions as sort of with the most permissible view that I can give them, since they collected citizen signatures for things. So I guess I would interpret this as asking for a special act liquor license, even if it's not entirely clear as to that. So if that's what we're doing, then we would have to, have town meeting vote on a home rule petition for that. Unless, and I don't know if he's asking if he can apply for the quota license that right now is tied up administratively in an appeal, which I suppose, we've granted it to Comet, but theoretically they're going to get this is getting very complicated very quickly. But I suppose somebody else could. Well, we've granted it, so it's really not available right now. So yeah, I think that would really be sort of where we're at this point, is that it would have to be a special act.
Special act.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay?
Do you understand what we're talking about? What you asked for, we
Yes.
can't do.
I know that he's trying to say like still you are in the process with the market basket and stuff like that.
So,
Yes, correct.
Yes.
Yeah, so they are still in the hearing and stuff like that.
We're currently, so the select board made its decision. They denied Market Basket. It's currently in the court system right now.
Yeah, I heard that last time too. That's what I'm saying, In case if it's available,
So if it becomes available again.
In case, then,
yeah.
like, my application in there and look at into that too, you know?
Okay, so that's
Okay.
really not a town meeting
It's
article.
not a town meeting article. right?
And I think, I don't know that the select board has really discussed what's gonna happen if that license becomes available again. We may wanna have a policy around it, or something like that to solicit applications through an RFP, but right now,
Or maybe I can apply for the new one, sign the petition and stuff like that, asking for the new license or something.
well, so that license is sort of like the regular license that the town has. So you wouldn't need to collect this many signatures. It would just be an application if it became available again. In sort of an interesting way, you've done a little bit more work than you'd really have to in collecting those signatures. But right now, it's on our town meeting warrant,
Yes,
so
it-
I don't know what we want to do with that.
Well, it has to, we can't
Right.
withdraw it.
Yeah,
It's a
we can't
petition
withdraw it.
article,
It's
it
on
has
the
to go
article,
before town
right.
meeting.
Yeah.
Sure.
We have no, it has to go before town meeting,
Yeah, I understand.
but it's
Yeah.
not anything we can do.
Right.
So we should actually, I mean, from our point of view, I think we have to request indefinite
And
postponement.
Postponement, right.
But that's his motion.
And then
So-
if the license came available, if it ever did, you could
Yeah.
apply regularly.
Or maybe, yeah, or
Right.
maybe we can go with the, I already took the like signature from the town people and stuff like that, and apply as a, for the new one, you know?
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
like special legislation or something like that, or something.
Well, so we're talking about two different things
Yes.
again. It's like the special legislation would be it would be creating a new license. It would not be the other license. I can explain this to you sort of offline after the meeting if you want, sort of the process of all of this stuff. I think, I don't want to, we have a pretty heavy agenda here, and I don't want to get into a long-winded explanation.
That's fine,
Yeah.
but my concern is like either side, you know, if it's available or for, I'm still looking like, this is,
Yeah.
we've been over there for a long time, you know?
Yeah, no, I
And
get it.
we're still looking for the license if we can, you know?
Yeah, well, right now the
Either
license
side,
isn't
or
available.
open or for, to apply new one or anything, you know, I need your like
Yeah.
approval to, so I can go
Okay.
ahead for the next time, you know?
Yeah, I can explain that process to you sort of offline, but right now, right now that license is not available. It has been granted by the select board.
Select board, right.
So there's, really nothing we can do. This can come to town meeting, I suppose, but there's nothing that town meeting can do either. The license isn't available. If or when it's available, it's not town meeting that would evaluate applications. It would be the select board. And like I said, I can kind of explain the differences in licenses, after, probably here in a little bit. I'm only here for a few agenda items. So if you just want to hang around, I can have a conversation with you and kind of explain it a little more if you want.
Okay, no.
Okay.
And then, go ahead, MJ, yes, yeah.
So in the book, I mean, is the book gonna say motion to be made at town meeting? I mean, where is our plan here?
Marlene, any thoughts maybe? I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't know.
Or are we gonna decide next week?
We usually leave that to the petitioner.
Yeah, okay.
Well, let him have the benefit of me trying to explain
Okay.
the licensing stuff,
Okay.
and then I guess he can make a decision on that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Anne Marie, please.
No, I put it down, I did put it down, I think, as MJ said, my question was, what are the next steps here,
Yeah.
this article, whose responsibility is it? Is it ours to make the recommendation that we indefinitely postpone? Is it the petitioner who withdraws and states that,
Yeah.
motion at town meeting or et cetera? But it seems like Brian will be able to direct the petitioner.
All right, so we'll let Brian speak with the petitioner, and then we will readdress it next week, correct? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have Annual Town Meeting Article 17, CPA Housing Assistance Corporation, ARC Hyannis. I would assume
Marlene, are
someone...
you able to put me back into the waiting room so I can recuse myself?
See if I can do that quickly.
If not, I'll sign off and then someone can let me know when to sign back on. I have my cell phone, so.
I think I can. You're good.
Okay.
Okay,
All right,
thanks.
perfect. All right, as housing assistant Tiara, he says that this is a presentation.
Yes.
We are, thank you.
Oh, no, that was
Rob
above,
Brennan.
sorry.
Oh,
Go ahead, sorry.
Rob Brennan, Chief Legal Officer for Housing Assistance Corporation, and with me is my colleague Patty Mitra-Costas. And thank you for the opportunity to come before you again and present on this CPA request for $100,000. We were in front of the Finance Committee last night, and I just want to start off by just correcting a statement that I made. And I did not have the benefit of Patty's accompanying me last night. Patty is our head of grants, prepared all the documents, and in speaking with the Finance Committee, I conflated two numbers. One number was 55, which is the number of individuals between 2022 and 2025 who identified Bourne as their hometown, as their last residence, and who stayed at the existing shelter at 77 Winter Street, a building which, like this request, is owned by Housing Assistance, and the shelter is operated by Catholic Charities. This request is going to be for a relocation and creation of new housing, shelter housing at 460 West Main Street. So between those years, there were 55 unique individuals who stayed at the shelter and identified Bourne. Those stays were of various lengths. They can run weeks, they can run months. They run until Catholic Charities can place them into another more stable housing situation. So I conflated that number with the number where Bourne ranks in total services from Housing Assistance, which is second among all 15 Cape towns. And that includes, for 2024, 386 Bourne households receiving assistance in the form of energy assistance, homelessness prevention, and rental assistance that totaled for that year $3,129,413. That number of households went up in 2025 to 402 households receiving, correspondingly bumped amount in total assistance. And over the past 20 years, Housing Assistance has created 222 rental units in the town of Bourne. So that is where Bourne ranks second in Housing Assistance, services. And again, I misspoke and suggested that the 55 individuals ranked second among the towns on the Cape that availed themselves. We do not have that ranking number among the Capes. I don't know where Bourne falls, but I do know two things. Again, that during those 2 years, 55 individuals did reside as guests at the emergency overnight shelter. But more importantly, for the purpose of this request, that emergency overnight shelter is available to residents of Bourne 365 days a year. When those residents are in need of a last resort for where they're going to spend a night, or a last resort for where they're going to stabilize until they can get into more stable housing. So the request that we're making of Bourne, as we're making of towns across the Cape, is for $100,000. If you were to take that $100,000 and amortize it over the useful life of the shelter, just saying it's 30 years perhaps, that's $3,333 per year to have that safety net available for Bourne individuals, for the family members of Bourne individuals, folks that grew up in Bourne, folks that call Bourne home. That is the nature of the emergency overnight shelter. It is the only shelter in the region. There are 50 beds, roughly split between 30 men, 20 women. It's currently located at a property that was never designed to be a shelter at 77 Winter Street. And those beds in the shelter are spread over 3 floors. The reason that the 3 floors is really grossly inadequate for this is because the largest growing population among shelter residents are seniors. Seniors who have trouble navigating stairs, seniors that have trouble getting into top bunks of bunk beds. And the move to 460 West Main Street is going to accomplish a number of things. Number one, it's going to bring all that onto a single floor for Catholic Charities to operate the shelter. And number two, it's going to significantly increase the amount of day program space. The day program is something that Catholic Charities does outside of their state contract, and that is to provide wraparound services for these individuals to help them stabilize, to help them move from that lowest rung on the housing ladder, on the community housing ladder, to that next rung up, whether that next rung is a single room occupancy, whether it might be supportive housing. So when we talk about community housing, this literally is the bottom rung. These are folks that fall nowhere near the upper cap on community housing projects at 100% of AMI. They are much closer to 0% of AMI. But right now, and as has been true in the middle of winter, up to 50% of the folks that are at the shelter are actually working. So we are talking about, Cape Cod's working homeless. This is getting them out of vehicles, getting them into a warm building, getting them a bed to sleep at night, and getting them a meal. The requirements for funding, and again, same would apply across all towns. We expect to be entering into a grant agreement with Bourne, and we expect and agree that there would be a deed restriction placed on the property running in favor of the town of Bourne to ensure that the use remains as it's being requested, to ensure that it is continuing to serve individuals who are below 100% AMI, and to ensure that it is squarely with the other precedent fundings for shelter under the Community Preservation Act that include right here in the region the towns of Tisbury and West Tisbury, 21, 2022, and 2023 funded similar shelter on Martha's Vineyard. I'm happy to answer any questions that the board may have. Again, my colleague Patty can answer specifics about the application, and I thank you again for entertaining this request and the warm reception that we were met with when we last before you.
Thank you very much. All right, I guess I will start with the select board and go around the room, see if anyone has any comments or thoughts on this application. I know, go ahead, MJ. I know that you had some the other day.
I was the one that asked the question, and so I think this, as I said before, I think this is a great project. I think that the work that's been done on the motion, and especially clarifying that this is there's a permanent restriction for community housing, which is what actually allows it to be able to be eligible. So for CPA funding is clearly laid out in the article in the motion. So I'm totally in support of the project this time.
Yeah, I think that was you brought that up, and that was sort of where I was at. Just kind of wanted to clarify those things, so I appreciate it very much. Peter, any thoughts?
No, I've had this for a while now as your Affordable Housing Trust rep, and I think it's something that'll be do a lot of good for the county, and for us to do our small part in helping to fund this will go a long way. I mean, because we don't have enough of these type of services, period, in the region, and they fill up pretty quick. So anything we can do to help fill, get more out there, it's the economy's not getting any better; it's getting worse.
Yeah, I have to agree. Housing Assistance Corporation does a great deal of important work in our communities, regardless that they're in Hyannis or not. I know a lot of people locally have been served by them in many different situations, so I do very much appreciate the work they do. And so what do we need a motion on this?
Make a motion to recommend approval of Article 17.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. Anne Marie is abstained. Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I just want to close by telling you that the building permit for this issued yesterday and the work started today. So thank you for helping us continue the momentum this evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
can we take
Peter Lindbergh.
A18 or letter F out of order because Sue Ross is there and this way she doesn't have to stay on any longer?
Can we do the consent agenda? Are you just here for the consent agenda, Peter?
Afterwards, yeah?
Want to do the, okay, so why don't we do Sue, that article, what is it? I'm sorry, Peter, it's F, correct?
Yes.
So we'll take F out of order, just so, because Sue is up there, I'm fine with that, that's fine.
And then can we do the consent agenda?
And then
So
we'll do the
Peter
consent
Lindbergh,
agenda
yeah.
so that you don't have to sit through the whole evening with us. All right, that's fine. I'm fine with that, of course. All right, so does Sue have to present to us, or have we heard enough on this and ready to motion, or what?
Everything has been presented and the motion is in your book, so,
I think last week there was a question about the amount of money.
yep, it's filled
Yeah.
in.
Okay.
All right, so
I make a motion to recommend approval of Article 18.
all right.
The amount of $111,500.
All right, we have a motion from
Is that a
Peter
second?
Meyer, second from Jean.
I'll second.
All right, so Anne Marie can come back. Is she back? Oh, she
yes.
is. Okay, Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. 500. Oh, I can't.
Thank you very much.
I'm not going to be able to do the 500 thing, so I'm just going to keep that there. Okay, so we will do now. I apologize. We're going to move down to.
13.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, way in the back. 13. We have a consent agenda. And we have A, psychic fair fee waiver request, and B, accept donation to Council on Aging in the amount of $25. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
All
Second.
right. So we have a motion from Peter, a second from MJ. Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ,
Yes.
Melissa, chair votes yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so that is, I just gotta write, I'm just gonna write CA there, Marlene. It doesn't look like a C, but I'm doing my best with this. Okay. I wish I was a lefty. I wish I was ambidextrous these days. Okay, let's see. Let's go back up. So next we have license access agreement at 4 Cape View Way for preservation of affordable housing. Is there someone here to speak on this, or what?
So, there is a draft license agreement in your packet prepared by council, and this is to allow HAC and POA to do some remediation on their property at 12 Cape View Way, which is where the apartments are. And they need to slightly cross over the property line and access some town property. So this gives them the ability to do that, and it protects the town's interests.
Okay, we like that. Okay, does any questions from the select board on this, or do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the license access agreement for 4 Cape View Way for preservation of affordable housing.
All right.
Do we have a date yet? Access rights start on the effective date and terminate at the end of the date on
Yeah.
blank.
Well, it'll be based on tonight's vote.
Okay.
All right, so we have a motion from Peter. Do we have a second?
Second.
We're authorizing the town administrator to
Of
execute
course.
the agreement.
Second from Jean. Okay, roll call vote. Anne Marie?
Abstain?
Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Melissa? Chair votes yes.
I'm taking notes too.
Okay.
Just an FYI, I abstain because the language also includes the Housing Assistance Corps, and for the record, They are currently a client, however, not for this particular project.
Thank you. I don't know what that says there. Okay, thank you very much. Next, we have draft information request to Upper Cape Tech regarding resident enrollment information for FY 2026. I would assume town council's taken this.
Yes, my final agenda item of the evening. So at our last meeting, we had provided an update to you on the issue of, Bourne residents enroll at Upper Cape Tech. One of the instructions that you gave me was to draft a letter that would request enrollment information, the financial information related to sort of those students, not just for sort of the as of October 1, 2025, which is what we worked out with the parties, but also given that many, if not most of those students were not in ninth grade, sort of going back for those same students in prior years too. So the draft letter is there. It's available for you to review. If it's to your satisfaction, we'd be asking for you to take a vote because you are the party in the regional agreement that needs to make the request, authorizing the letter to be sent and authorizing the town administrator to sign it on your behalf.
Okay, do we have any comments? Go ahead, MJ.
Yeah, so on page 2, the item 3, it says your resident enrollment list for town of Bourne students as of October 1st, 2024, with both mailing address and grade level. That has to, I think that needs to say with the residential physical address, the mailing address, and the grade level. Because the residential physical address is the really key piece of it.
They may have a P.O. box and not a street address, as it.
The residential physical address is the actual physical address.
Oh, I realize that. I'm just saying that.
And the mailing address, so if you live in Onset, you may live at 12 Smith Lane in Onset, but your mailing address would be 12 Smith Lane, Buzzards Bay.
Oh,
So
I
that's the thing that we have to really make sure that the physical address and mailing address are comparable, or.
Yeah,
in
you
the
can ask for
same
both if they're
Yeah.
different. Yep.
I think that's
Marie's
important.
hands up.
Hi, Anne-Marie, go ahead.
Thank you. I agree with that particular, that the residential address, the physical mailing address. I think the other important list that we should also have as part of this request is the school attending report that Upper Cape gives to, well, actually all schools that have Bourne residents attending their schools have to report in January in a school attending report that contains physical addresses by grade level, so that Bourne Public Schools can do their mid-February reporting. So that's a little different from enrollment. And that report is sent to Bourne Public Schools. They request it, it's sent to them. So I think the request along with the student enrollment is the school attending report for January, well, the school attending report January 2025, that with the residence address, student residence address by grade level is also an important ask for this fiscal year we're talking about. And also I think, we want to kind of understand the assessment a little bit more. I think perhaps asking for a line item budget. Every department, we have a line item budget with sources and how they're allocated. I don't think it's ever been asked of the Upper Cape. I haven't seen one in my tenure. Again, that's only been 3 years. So I think requesting a line item budget for fiscal year 26 to date, along with the sources assigned to those line items, whatever they may be, that encompass, all capital, operating, maintenance costs, etc., which is those things that were assessed that are assessed to the town. I think that's really important as well. And one of the other things too, we talked about this before, and I don't know if it applies here, but when we asked about some of the data that Upper Cape receives with respects to enrollment, they talked about the DOR. I don't understand do they get a list? What do they get from the DOR? How does do they use it to, as part of their enrollment numbers and assessment to the town? I think perhaps maybe some language to follow up on what the DOR list consists of and how it's used in student enrollment and assessments. Those are the things that I, after going back and reviewing how we can best understand what's happening, are some of the things I think that we should request as well, along with the other 3 items.
So you'd like us to add those, have the town council add those to the letter?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if we need to vote on it, I don't know what the next step is, but those are concerns of mine, and I would like to see those added to this list for request for records.
Okay. Jean, any comments or thoughts?
I
Oh,
think
Brian, do you
I
want to?
just
Go
wanted
ahead.
to correct one thing I said
Sure.
too. I had town administrator on my mind. We were authorizing the chair to sign this letter. So I misspoke earlier.
I was wondering that.
Okay.
It slipped me. I was
Yeah,
thinking
so
that.
you-
Yeah.
Can we have a new draft, though?
Yes,
Next
please.
week.
I wouldn't want to vote
Yeah.
on it until we see the
Before,
draft.
with MJ's edits and your,
That you
Weeks,
looked, all
yeah.
the suggestions, I think would
Yeah.
be good.
Peter, any thoughts, comments?
I don't have anything to say until we see the new letter with the
Yeah.
new addition to it.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yep, all
Yeah,
right.
great. Yeah.
So no
Good
motion,
input,
no,
thank you.
we're just gonna make those edits and then get it back to us. Jean, Anne Marie, is your hand still up?
Okay, that sounds good.
It is.
Yeah.
One more thing I was looking at, one of the things we're trying to get at, that this doesn't happen in the future, right? So I know they have policies surrounding verification of residency, but I don't know if at a later date we should ask or if incorporated into this particular request is what forms of proof of residency do they have for their applicants? Do you think that's something, Ryan, that follows along the lines of what we're requesting with this particular letter at this time?
We can ask for it. I don't know what kind of records they keep on that, but we can ask for those records.
Yeah, I just, I know they have a policy surrounding it, and the policy basically just says proof of residency, but how is that accomplished?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just clarify.
In
the
your
policy.
application process, how is that accomplished?
Yeah, we can do 2 things, right? We can ask for the records. We may have to have a discussion with them. I don't know if that's going to implicate student privacy concerns, as some of this information may, and they may respond along those lines. We don't have to limit the letter to just asking for records. We could also nicely just ask a question, even though that's not part of the regional agreement. There's no reason we can't, make the nice request to them. We certainly tried to draft the letter to be as nice as possible. So.
Right. Well, yeah, we all want to have an understanding. We all want to try to do our fiduciary responsibility is.
Yep.
So the more data, the more information we have, the better we'll be able to, evaluate and assess what's happening.
Okay.
And, yeah, and again, above all else, not with what's within our regional agreement, and also the privacy of the students is certainly a priority.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
all right, moving on. Discuss archive building capital repairs with the Board of Governors.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
You can.
All right. I'm Bill Produce, and first of all, I had a little procedure done last week, which also involved an endoscopy. I get uncontrollable hiccups periodically, so if I break into hiccups, still related to that procedure.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. I'm Bill Produce from Pecasset. I'm president of the Board of Governors of the Jonathan Bourne Historic Center, also known as the Archives Building on Keene Street. Here to discuss the Archives Building capital repair needs and plan. In December, the town administrator engaged Gale and Associates to do a leak study of the building. We received the results of the study in February, and they have been reviewed with Gale, the town administrator, her leadership team, and I reviewed it with the Board of Governors as well. It was basically a 43-page report, including pictures and testing details. Very well done. If you're familiar with the building itself, and you've been in the building, you'll know there are 2 areas, even highlighted in the Bourne Enterprise, with holes in the ceiling. So that's what we're talking about. Board of Governors has determined that there are 2 top items. Together we would like to call that the Stop Leak Project. That should be developed for a CPA funding request for the next CPA and town meeting cycle. The top 2 items: repair the flat roof, the parapet, and the joint between the 1896 archive building and the 1954 flat roof addition to stop the leak into the rear archives office. The second item is to demolish and replace the original chimney and flashing to the roof line to stop the leak that comes into the main meeting room. To go forward, we need to develop a scope of work and a quote for the CPA request. I'm here with the town administrator. Steve Gavaz is online, the facilities director, to answer any questions you might have about the project and the process.
Thank you very much. Do you want to add anything to that, Marlene, or?
Bill did a great job.
All right, wonderful. I'll go around select board first. MJ, I guess I'll start with you. If that's okay.
So I think this is a good step to do the CPA funding.
If you could speak, in addition to the hiccups, I wear hearing aids too.
Okay, so I will try to speak up. So I think this is a good step to do a CPA request, these 2 important pieces. I think that this makes a lot of sense. And I don't know what's involved in the development of the scope and the work, but I think that would be a good step to happen. So I appreciate that.
I agree, and that's actually the discussion that Marlene and Steve and I had, and I'm sort of laying it on her expertise to go take this to the next level. I will say that I've got wonderful support from everybody in this room, but also from all of the members of the Board of Governors, which represent the Bourne Historical Society, Historic Commission, Archives, and the Bourne Society of Historic Preservation. I think we've come a long way since I signed on to this role about a year ago. We've gotten rid of all the niggling little issues, and we really are down to what we think are issues that really are of long-term benefit to the town and to that building.
Excellent. Yeah. Anyone? Jean?
I was at the Board of Governors meeting for the presentation, and I really think that everything is going in the right direction. As you say, you've got a more defined, steps to take, and this is a great first step. So, a good group of people, so that's good. Thank you.
It's taken a long time to get where we are today, and I know this firsthand from being on the Board of Trustees of the Bourne Historical Society. So I've been dealing as the tenant, technically the tenant of the building in there. I've seen all these issues over the years, and I'm glad that we're doing something because it is a crown jewel. We don't have many places in town that show our heritage or our old town history. This is one of them, and we should try to preserve it as much as we can because once it's gone, you can't get it back. The other thing is this is also a perfect example of deferred maintenance over the years, and you only defer so far, and then after a while you can't. The problem's a lot bigger than it had to be in the past. But I'm confident that by using CPC funding, which is a great source. It doesn't put stress on the town budget. And with your leadership through the town administrator and Steve Gavazza, who came back recently, I think we can pull this all together and save this crown jewel from falling by the wayside.
Anyone else? Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who knows me knows how much I love historic buildings and just history in general, right? So, I mean, I think this is a wonderful project, and it's certainly time by the photos. I've been in the building, so I understand it definitely needs some TLC and some love, and it's time. So, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
If anyone else, Anne Marie, you all set?
No, I agree. It was very difficult to look at those images of that historical building and the damage caused by water. So, I appreciate the governor's becoming more vocal and putting a path forward for that building.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we need a motion for this?
No. So, based on your discussion tonight, I will keep working with Bill and Stephen, and the three of us will work together to put a capital article on the fall town meeting to fund the design work
Okay.
that we'll need for this project.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
One more question before they.
Sure. Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry, Peter has a quick question.
Are there any temporary remedies that can be taken so we can try to fix some of this, from getting any worse, or?
We have tried to patch it a couple of times. Things are just,
Oh, that far gone?
Yeah, you can tell
Yeah.
it's pretty eroded.
I mean, we keep keep trying to do what we can, but it really does need to be designed properly and
Of
then
course.
reconstructed.
Understood.
So
Thank you.
we'll work for a design proposal for fall town meeting.
Great. Good. Thanks.
Excellent, thank you very
Look
much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so we're down to review annual town meeting articles and draft motions and vote recommendations. So it might be, well, I'll just let it go, but I'm just saying we've got we'll just go through them one at a time, and then I think we've seen them all, we've talked about them, so this should be fairly straightforward. And yeah, so first we have a 2 FY 2027 operating budget. Do we have a motion for that?
Motion to recommend approval.
All right.
Second.
All right. Second, so we have a motion from Peter and a second from Anne Marie, and I might keep going that way if it works out. It works out.
It's
if we can-
faster.
It's faster, yeah,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
that way I can just write them all, and then you get the front.
Yeah.
All right. So any further conversation? Okay, hearing none. Roll call vote. Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ.
Yes.
Melissa, chair votes yes. Okay. All right, next we have special legislation, Article 97, Enbridge gas relocation.
Motion to approve or support.
Second.
Second.
I thought we just said we were going to do
Yeah,
all
no,
the
I'm gonna have
same.
Peter's gonna motion.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
that's
second.
with the
And
fast
Anne Marie will second.
That's what we
Okay.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I make a motion.
Don't mind me.
I'll make a motion that I recommend approval of Article number 7 at the annual town meeting.
All right.
Second.
Second, okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean.
Yes.
Peter.
Yes.
MJ.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Okay.
Article number 8, I recommend approval of Article number 8, which is a transfer easement of Enbridge gas relocation.
Oh,
Second.
all right. Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ.
If you just bear with me one
Okay, no
second.
worries, no worries.
I was just looking for what the vote was, and it's 2/3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, Peter, you're good.
Sure, I'll make a motion that we recommend approval of Article number 9, annual town meeting, accept Spinnaker Lane and Daniel Webster Lane as public ways.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Thank you. All right, moving on.
Article number 10. Mike, I have a question first.
Sure.
Did we ever come back? Well, don't forget when we opened up the vote, it was before 7 o'clock that night, and we had to go back and,
You guys did talk about it again, and it's not it's technically was not a public hearing. We notified them as a courtesy, but it was not a public hearing. But you did come back and talk about it at the next meeting.
okay. All right. Well, in that case, my motion is to recommend approval of Article number 10, betterment for temporary repairs to private ways of Tara, Eldridge, and Eldridge Extension.
All right, motion
Second.
from, all right, motion from Peter, second from Anne Marie. Any further discussion? Okay, Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes,
MJ?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Okay,
we did 18 already.
Yep.
So, motion to recommend approval of Article 16, CPA article. It's a conservation restriction for Bourne Conservation Trust.
okay, we have a motion from Peter.
Second.
All right, any further discussion on the conservation restriction for Bourne Conservation Trust? Hearing none, roll call vote, Anne Marie?
No.
Okay, okay, hold on. I need to write that one separate, that's all.
What number is this?
Hold on, number
16?
it's
16.
G.
I am a yes.
All right, so we've got no from Anne Marie. Jean is a yes. Peter,
Yes,
MJ,
Yes.
Melissa, no. This motion passes anyhow, right?
Yeah.
So,
So-
2-0.
so that was Peter.
Could we
and
hold
who
on?
seconded
I know
that one?
We're kind of going through this
I
very
did.
quickly, but I think I might have this article.
Okay.
What is the reason for people not supporting this? We haven't had any discussion about why people would support it or not support it, so.
Anne Marie.
For buying the conservation
We're not,
trust, the conservation restriction for the
right,
property on County Road.
right.
I think that, we didn't have an opportunity. I think the Conservation Trust, pursued this property without any input from the town. I think they moved forward with an agreement and now are in a situation where they have a loan to pay off and they want us to help pay off that loan on property, that in my opinion, could have been developed to increase our dire need for single-family homes and development that otherwise we now won't be able to use. I mean, we have to find a healthy balance between, yes, conserving property and having it for recreational use, but at the same time, we have families that want to invest in single-family homes and live in our community. We can't just be a community of conservation land. And I think that was an opportunity for, to have a conversation with the trust, but they moved forward and they negotiated a price for that property and now took out a loan for that property and now want the town to pay off that loan by buying a conservation restriction. I just disagree with it.
Go ahead.
So, one of the issues that the town has had in the past, when they attempted to purchase property for the purposes of open space and conservation, is that the restriction that the town has to go through to go to town meeting and to get approval of the funds to try to negotiate with the property, often means that the town is not able to secure those properties. And I'm going to give two examples that have happened One was the Mashney Island property where the Quahog Republic was, where the town of Bourne tried to purchase that property. And because we had to wait for a town meeting and because there were other things that happened, we lost that property because the amount of money that we asked for wasn't enough. The second property that happened with was the property where the Keene House is. And the town attempted to buy that property to save the Keene House before it went to the private developer, and the town was outbid, and didn't happen. So I do believe that before this property was purchased by the Conservation Trust, there were discussions with the Community Preservation Committee about them going ahead and buying the property and then securing the conservation easement. And this is similar to what we did with the property, the major purchase that we did through that grants program. We got, half the money back. So I think that I think that there was, some discussion with community preservation about this, and that the process for purchasing property, I do understand that you can't purchase all the property in town for conservation restriction and open space. But this particular property is, I believe, sort of in that whole thing where we have been creating this large piece of conservation property that is good for the town. And so there were other pieces of property, and I'm thinking the Baxendale property, where they raised the money themselves in order to protect that really important piece. So it's helpful. I think that this is a good purchase for the town, so I just wanted to say that.
Well, let me add too, and I may have to go back. And so I was under the impression, I thought, I said no for the same reasons Anne Marie did, as I felt that it was not a lot of discussion about it. So I think I will go back, and if I can rescind my vote, and I will vote yes. But I do think we need a discussion about this in the future, though, because if this is something that has happened before, or if it's something that's going to become an issue later, then Anne Marie clearly has an issue with the way it was, and I was concerned with it at first as well. I mean, if I'm all about conservation and open space, I mean that's that's where that's what I love. But at the same time, the town has to be, we can't be purchasing property and then, I don't remember hearing anything about it prior to that. So
yeah, one other thing we might want to have a conversation with community preservation and open space committees, if there are discussions going on like this, to have the selectmen be aware and not get sort of presented with a done deal.
Well, that's kind of how it felt, and that was why I had originally said, no,
so.
Until we, anyhow.
I mean, the intention is well intended. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I know with Steve Ballantyne, Bourne Conservation Trust, have done amazing things over the years.
Of course.
But I just think moving forward in true transparency, maybe gets better communication whenever possible. Because no one wants to be blindsided, and the people are going to ask us in the community, and if we don't know anything about it, then so.
Well, that's kind of how I felt, I think, and I think that was
But I have
Yeah.
both.
Oh,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I do think it is critically important that it be crystal clear.
Yes.
Which entities are authorized to negotiate on behalf of the town.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because this is, if promises are being made, or if people are representing that they're authorized to to negotiate on behalf of the town, that's very important.
Yeah, I think that's where my concern was. It was very, anyhow.
Yeah, we don't want people
That
to
was
feel like
mine
they're being
too,
led.
that, are you negotiating on behalf of the town? Who is that authority, or who designated that authority? That's a real big issue.
Yeah.
And, we've got a lot of, projects out there that the Recreation Committee has done an extensive feasibility study on, and things that, are also recreation areas that are in dire need of upgrades. And, for me, that's a priority, to trying to fulfill, all the recommendations that the feasibility study, the Recreation Committee did to help support recreational activities, right? And recreational space. So, and plus the fact how this all came to fruition, it just left a sour taste for me. And we have to have a healthy balance between opportunities for, people to even buy property and build a house on it to as a family and invest in an asset that becomes a revenue for the town.
Go ahead, MJ.
Just one thing that we might want to have a conversation and invite the Open Space Committee in to talk about their plan. They did an open space plan that they had to do for something, and maybe that's something that we should have, what is the balance? Like, what are our goals now for open space, and what are our goals for affordable housing and for recreation, and how do we balance it to make sure that we're all sort of working together to accomplish goals? I think that would be a great thing to talk about.
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
All right.
We're on
All right, so I did the roll call vote, and I rescinded my vote. I did vote yes, so 4-1-0.
We're now on to article number 20, letter H. I recommend approval of the CPA reserves article.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Anne Marie?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Melissa, chair votes yes. All right.
Letter I, recommend approval of article 21, stabilization fund.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Motion from Peter, second from Anne Marie. Hearing none, roll call vote. Anne Marie?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Melissa, chair votes yes.
Can we have something in the explanation for like what the amount will be in the fund and
Yeah.
what the requirement?
It'll be in the
Yeah,
next
okay.
version.
Okay, thank you very much. Perfect. All right.
For the next three, that'll be in the next version.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Letter J, annual town meeting article 22, recommend approval, motion to recommend approval of the capital stabilization fund.
Second.
All right. Motion from Peter, second from Anne Marie. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Anne Marie?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Melissa, chair votes yes. 5-0-0. All right. Moving on. Good job, Peter.
Yep. Article, annual town meeting, Article 30, Special Education Reserve Fund. I recommend approval of Article 30.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion on Article 30?
I just want to remind you, this is the motion that I emailed this morning. I had forgotten it, but realized at the Finance Committee last night.
Okay.
We had discussed the amount though.
Yes.
Last week, so.
Yep.
It's all good, thank you.
All right. Motion from Peter, second from Anne Marie. Roll call vote. Anne Marie?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. Okay, there you go. Discussion, all annual town meeting articles. Vote any contingent articles. We didn't have contingent last time, correct?
Well, 7 and 8.
7 and 8.
If it doesn't matter for the special legislation to have them discussed together, if we're gonna have them, if it doesn't matter, then we'll just hope that people don't have questions that cross over.
Okay. Does that sound good to you,
I like them
Marlene?
together, but yeah.
Everybody's
fine.
cool with that? All right, do we have to vote on that? No. It's not a vote. We already knew that. We had talked about it, but we wasn't sure. Okay. So now we have to review special town meeting articles and draft motions and vote the recommendations.
Article number 1 of the special town meeting warrant is an unpaid bill, which is 9/10. at town meeting, and it looks like we owe our town council some money, and I just only had two invoices that came in late. So the total amount for the three invoices is $13,334.18.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve Article 1?
Motion.
The special town meeting.
Motion to recommend approval of special town meeting Article 1 for unpaid
Okay.
bills.
Again,
All right, motion from Peter. Oh, I can't write. Hearing.
There was a motion from Peter and second by
I know.
Emily.
Any further discussion?
Thank you.
All right, hearing none. Emery,
yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. All right.
Special town meeting article number 2. It's an FY 2026 supplemental budget item. $407,000 for public works. Is this the school snow and ice account?
Yes, it is. Yep.
I recommend approval of special town meeting article number 2 for the supplemental budget for snow and ice.
Second,
Okay. Any
I have
further
a
discussion?
question. I have a question. So, the snow and ice budget is a special budget, so once you increase it, you can't go back. This does not increase it, right?
This is
It's
not-
the original appropriation.
Yeah, it's the original budget.
Budget, okay.
It's
So-
not, we can amend it throughout the year, and that does not tie us to that. So we'll go back, when we build FY '28, we'll go back and we'll do the 5-year look back average.
Right.
So it'll be higher for FY '28 due to last winter, but it will not necessarily, this does not create a new floor.
Right, so, and I just so, I don't know if you all know this, but once you have your, what is it, 338,000 is our snow and ice budget, you cannot go down from that. You can only go up from that. And so for many, many years, our snow and ice budget was $90,000. And we had a winter like this that created a whole thing, and that's when we started the 5-year look back and said, we're moving it up.
Wow.
Okay. So,
I'm ready to vote
motion
now.
from Peter, second from Emery. Emery,
yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ.
Yes.
Chair votes yes. 5-0. Okay.
Article number 3 of the special town meeting is a private petition. I'm not recommending any motion at this time because the motion's gonna come from a private petitioner most
Right.
likely, so
Mhm.
my recommendation is no action to the night of town meeting, just in case
Okay.
things change between now and then.
All right, so let me just write that on here.
Recommendation to be made at town meeting.
Okay. No action, I'm just gonna write here.
No action recommendation we made the night of town meeting.
I'm just writing no action. And, Marlene will know what I meant,
Yeah,
I
no.
think.
That's the same thing the finance. committee
Okay,
does.
perfect. All right, number 12, there you go, Peter.
There's always video.
Number 12 is a letter from MassDOT from Louisa about that, the old Sagamore Fire Station property
Okay.
that they want to, they wish that the town donate to them, I believe, if I remember right.
Mhm.
I have no problem with donating the land to the Commonwealth. I mean, we really have no use for it. It's just, it's just, we're just doing our part as part of the project. We have a little bit invested here, so I have no problem.
What's the process?
Well,
It'll go to town meeting.
Yeah.
They need feedback about if you're willing to donate it. If you are, then we'll line up a town meeting article for the fall.
Okay. Do we have a motion?
I do want a motion right now. Do you want?
Oh, do we want to?
Well, MassDOT's looking for information back from you about your intentions.
I'm gonna make a motion that the.
I think we should solicit some input from you. I don't know. Maybe we should just give it to them. I don't know.
What are we gonna do with it?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
there's
mean-
really no access to it. It's landlocked. I mean,
Yeah.
what are we gonna do with it?
Yeah, right. Right, and it's for the bridge,
Yeah. I
so
mean,
it's part of that's what it's for. It's to build the bridges, so it's not like they're taking it just to take it. It's for a reason. Anyone want to make a motion? Peter made the motion, we just need a second.
Someone can second, and if they don't want to make motion, they can vote it down.
Second.
All right, so we have I'm just gonna put this one separate. I'm gonna call it number, it just says 12, Marlene.
That's fine.
So we have a motion from Peter, a second from Anne Marie. I guess, any further discussion? I can go around and then we can just see what everyone thinks.
So we're talking about a fall town meeting?
Yes.
It would be a fall town meeting, yes. To give up the interest in real estate.
So we have a motion and a second so far.
Let's
If
go
there's
with
no
the
further
vote.
discussion, I'll just do roll call and see what we get. Anne Marie,
Yes.
Jean,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
MJ,
Abstain?
chair votes yes. Okay. All right, consent agenda, we already did. Town administrators report, look at that.
Just a couple of items tonight. ISWIM has diverted 7.89 tons of food from the landfill so far in 2026. The pile of dredge spoils has been removed from the Monument Beach neighborhood. We were able to use a portion of it on town property to regrade the beach at the bottom of the ramp at Sagamore, and to fill in the stairs at the bottom of Crab Rock Way to address erosion that occurred during the recent winter storms. It is anticipated that MassDOT may begin pile driving work as early as the week of April 20th as part of the load testing project for the new Sagamore Bridge. And there will be some noticeable noise associated with that. The bid for the new fire station will be aired in the Central Register next week, April 15th. The filed subbids are due on May 6th, and the GC bids are due on May 20th. And I anticipate being able to issue a notice to proceed sometime in the middle of June. There's a question raised at a recent meeting about contributions to the OPEB funds from the enterprise funds. I can confirm that we did not make a contribution to OPEB from either of the enterprise funds at the fall 2025 town meeting. The town transferred $585,302 from the Future Solid Waste Stabilization Fund to the ISWIM OPEB fund at the May 2025 town meeting. And when we got to the fall town meeting, we did not yet have updated reports. We do anticipate making a transfer from the sewer enterprise at the fall 2026 town meeting. Whether or not we recommend any additional transfers into the ISWIM OPEB fund will depend on the information when we receive the updated liability reports.
Excellent, thank you, Marlene.
That's it for me.
Thank you. So we have minutes of March 17th and March 24th.
Motion to approve the minutes of March 17th and March 24th, 2026.
All right.
I have to abstain for the 24th.
Just making sure. March 23rd. Okay, so we have a motion from Peter. Do we have a second to approve the minutes?
I'll second.
All right. MJ. All right, roll call vote. Anne Marie?
Yes.
Jean's abstaining.
Yeah.
Peter?
Yes.
MJ?
Yes.
Chair votes yes. All right, committee reports?
Yes, yesterday, State Senator Dylan Fernandez had a quarterly bridge project update. It was down in Falmouth. And basically what he went over was what Anne Marie and I and the town administrator were made aware of at the last meeting of our advisory committee. Also in the audience was, we received an email this morning from a concerned resident wants an MOU, and that lady, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but that lady was in the audience yesterday and made the concern and asked the group about it. A normal reporter for the Enterprise was also there yesterday, so she can attest to that. but they're moving ahead. You know, it's every time you turn around, there's something else that's being checked off, and so. But Louisa said that she's willing to come back and speak to us and any other group anytime. You know, if they want to hear anything about it or if they want to have any input in it. I met with the CCRTA general manager in my capacity as your rep, and one of the questions that was asked was about our replacement of the COA bus, because it's getting up there, there's leaks and stuff, and it's on the list to be replaced this time next year with a new bus.
Thank you very much.
I'm just going to say that I've been doing the monthly meetings at Mass Maritime, and this last month, Marlene and I did a tour of their new STEM building, which is really fantastic lab space, and it's really awesome. And then a couple of the select boards went to the pipe siting and the opening for the geothermal project, which is a really tremendous energy project for their HVAC system. So they've been doing a lot of work.
Yeah, it's
Thank
pretty
you.
inspiring what's going on there, and I also walked through the pool and saw the big hole in the wall and the beams they had to put in to support all the work they're going to do there. It's pretty fantastic. And the Cape and Islands Municipal Leaders Association also had a presentation by Zoom from Louisa Monday at 1 o'clock, and we were presented with similar information about what's going to be happening with the bridge. But I wouldn't mind having someone come back, because there is work happening simultaneously, and it seems like there's more maps and charts of what's going on with Sagamore, and there's a question about what's happening with Bourne, and I didn't see any of that in the presentation that was given last. So
I am working to get some additional dates for a workshop with the select board regarding the Sandwich Road issue. The last date I know didn't work for a number of you, so I was hoping to have that today, but I'm waiting for MassDOT's availability to do that workshop with you, and that'll give you a chance to have set aside a meeting to focus on the details.
that'd be
Thank you.
great. Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Correspondence.
Correspondence, April 7th, 2026. A, Mass DPU Energy Burden Request for Comments. B, Mass Department of Utilities DPU Energy Burden Order on Motions for Clarification. C, Mass Department of Utilities DPU Energy Burden Phase 2. D, Building Commissioners Association regarding administrative structure. E, Cape Cod Canal Pipeline Relocation Project Revised Schedule for Environmental Review. F, Determination of Compliance Multifamily Overlay District. G, Bourne Public Schools Memorial Garden Invite for May 26. H, Mass DOT Order of Taking Parcels 19C and 19A. I, Mass DPU seeking comments on pole attachment procedures, etc. J, Historical Society request for extension of lease. K, Joint Base Cape Cod prescribed berm for spring 2026. L, Talent Bank M. Gomes Recreation Committee. M, John York email regarding Cape Bridges Forum on April 6th in Falmouth. And N, 60 Red Brook Harbor Road application for coastal restoration, and that is it.
All right,
One
thank
page.
you. Future agenda items related to correspondence and other items for discussion.
Madam Chair, just to follow up with the email we received this morning, I feel that as soon as we can, but when it's reasonably possible, we should have the conversation about a possible MOU, a memorandum of understanding with MassDOT and the U.S. Army Corps, because if we can get any financial mitigation from either the state or federal agencies, because we are the epic center of the bridge replacement project, it will only help us out, because our budgets are pretty tight. But if we're going to be the one dealing with all of this, we get the benefit of it in the end because the bridges will be replaced. But in the meantime, if we can get some sort of mitigation out of it, I would like to explore it, because I don't want to turn money away. We're going to be struggling as time goes on to get more and more revenue and new revenue. And So I
Well,
guess
the more conversations we
Yeah.
can have with Louisa, the better, because as she
Right.
was emphasizing, we're going to work on these projects and hopefully make things a little better when we leave. But you look at the impacts, and Bourne is all over it. And no, we do not want to become, the country's largest staging area for the country's largest project. There's much more to Bourne than that. So
Exactly.
absolutely, yeah.
I do have another item. I would like us, I know we have a lot of things that we haven't had a chance to talk about, but one of the things that I would like us to put on our list is the Pecasset Fire Station.
Okay.
And one of the reasons I say that is the Recreation Committee is working on plans for different recreation things and what they might do at Pecasset, and we need to kind of let them know, could they use some of that property, how are we gonna use it? So I think we need to have the discussion, because we have to go to town meeting if we're going to do something, dispose of the property if we're gonna tear it down. We need to.
Could that be
we
part
need
of the larger conversation about open space?
It could be.
Yeah,
I just
right.
want to keep
That's a
it
great
sort of
idea.
in mind for if we're going to
Absolutely.
have to have a town meeting in the fall
Yeah.
on it. That I'd like to keep it sort of plan ahead.
Yeah,
Thank you.
it's appropriate.
Thank you. So next meeting dates, April 14th, Select Board. I am going to have to chair that meeting from Boston. I will be in Boston that evening, unfortunately, and I can't get out of it because I have an early AM the 15th. So I'm okay with that if, then Anne Marie doesn't have to. I mean, I like to be present to chair, but I don't want to put the pressure on Anne Marie again. I've done it before when we had virtual meetings, so I guess we can talk about that either way. It should be fine. But I will be on Zoom, unfortunately, because I won't be in.
It's okay with me.
So moderators meeting is the 15th. That works out great for me. It's online, and I'll still be in Boston, but I'll be able to run in the corner and take that because they're not very long usually, so I should be okay. Select Board May 5th, prior to town meeting. We always meet in the media center. May 12th is a Select Board, and then May 26th we have Sewer Commission.
is there any reason why we just make April 14th an all Zoom meeting?
Is that possible? Should we do that, Marlene? Because I'm not going to be present, or is there something?
Let me double check.
See what's on. Yeah.
Yeah, let me double check.
Okay, that might be an option.
I think that's an option
All
for
right.
us to
If
consider.
worse
We
comes-
meet a
okay.
lot in person, but
Yeah. Okay. If that works for the agenda, Marlene, maybe
Yeah,
we can do that.
Yeah, we can talk about that before
Okay.
you
Great.
set
All
the
right.
agenda.
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right. Motion from Peter.
Second.
Second from Jean. Roll call vote. Anne Marie.
Yes.
Jean.
Yes.
Peter.
Yes.
MJ.
yes.
Chair votes yes. We're adjourned. Thank you all.